What's up, HyperFast Nation? On this episode of the show, we are bringing a speaker from the 2023 HyperFast Agent Summit. Stand by for an introduction from the one and only Dustin Brown.
All right. Our next speaker is a leading technology innovator, serial entrepreneur, and coach to realtors. With more than 20 years experience, he's responsible for the creation of multiple digital marketing companies and the development of training programs that have reached hundreds of thousands of real estate professionals. Alex focuses on social media growth, digital branding, technology solutions, reputation management, and sales growth. His company, Real Greater, has been featured in Inman, Real Deal, Yahoo Finance, Realtor.com, and they recently won an award for generating over $1 million through a single marketing funnel. Give it up. And I'm telling you, give it up. Like, I'm yelling. I want you guys to say, yeah, I want to be crazy, chairs throwing. Give it up for Alex Montalenti.
All right, how's everybody doing? What's that? Unbelievable. I say everybody just get up for a second. You've been sitting for a long time. I want to change up the energy a little bit. If you got a second, just stand up, take a stretch. I'm going to be here for 30 minutes, so take advantage. All right, I'm going to tell you a little story. You can stay standing or sit down as you wish. My name's Alex Montalenti. I'm CEO of Real Greater. I've been in the industry for over 23 years. I want to get a sense of the room. How many of you are agents? How many are brokers? How many team leaders? All right, how many not agents or brokers or team leaders? Okay, got it. Awesome. So this is my mom. She's a realtor. She retired, but she was in real estate her whole life. My mom's name is Adriana. She's an awesome mom. She raised me in this house, and I was blessed to be raised in this house, but that wasn't easy for her. She started with absolutely nothing. She came from Romania in 1968, and in Romania, my family was doing really well. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. He owned a factory, and during communism, they took away the factory, and they started occupying my mom's house. So my grandmother was really smart. She negotiated and said, listen, if you're going to live in the house anyway, why don't I just give you the house? Just give me the passports so we can get out of here. So she traded her house and her life for passports. My mom and my grandmother left Romania, went to Italy. They didn't give them the passports. They waited in Italy to receive the passports. And then finally, when they got the passports, they came to America. So my mom and my grandma started at JFK Airport in New York with zero. A Romanian gentleman came to the airport, picked them up, handed them a note, said, this is an address where you can get a job at a factory, Staples factory, and gave them $1. And they started from scratch. My mom and grandmother worked in the factory. My mom saved up enough money, got her real estate license. Somebody said, that's a good idea. She jumped on it, and she started doing rentals in Queens, New York. Then she got into residential real estate. Then she started helping people from Romania move to America and buy their first home. And over time, she realized, okay, I got to make a real estate investment. She invested in this house. She couldn't really afford it, so she rented out both sides while she was like repairing it. And eventually she lived on one side, and then eventually she owned both sides and basically didn't have to have tenants anymore. And then she had 2 sons, me and my brother, and we grew up here. So my mom's been through the journey. I know the struggles of real estate. I saw it in my family. My mom was super entrepreneur. And in 1999, I'm coming home from college, and she's struggling. Because everybody remember what happened in 1999 to real estate? Anybody remember? Yeah, we also had the internet. The internet happened. And that messed up a lot of people, like my mom who didn't know computers. She's like, okay, now I got to put the listing into the MLS. What the hell is an MLS? How does a computer work? You had a book, you had manila folders. My mom used to carry this big, thick book. Queens listings were in there. And then she had these manila folders with MapQuest printouts. And she's like, Alex, I got a listing. Now I got to put it in the computer. And I'm like, Mom, let's get the screwdriver out. We'll put it in the computer. She didn't like that joke. Nobody else did here either, but that's all right. So I started helping her. I started doing marketing for her, and she got this really big opportunity. She's like, Alex, I got this listing. It's huge. It was like millions of dollars. She's like, but it's commercial. I don't know what to do with commercial. I'm like, Mom, take the listing. She's like, I don't know. It's like too much work. I don't have any connections. Take the listing. Took the listing, started doing some marketing for her, emailed it out to a list, landed in the right box. My buddy from high school was in commercial real estate, had a buyer, sold the property, $80,000 commission check. And I'm like, boom, this real estate business is nice. You guys make a lot of money. So I went and got my license, and I started helping my mom. Fast forward, here I am, 23 years later. Turns out my mom was in real estate. My dad was a technology consultant. So what did I become? A real estate technology geek. Here I am. So here we are, fast forward, 2023. 48% of realtors still say keeping with technology is their biggest challenge. How many people struggling with technology? Come on, be honest. Even I'm struggling with technology, and I'm a geek, right? This stuff is changing all the time. It's hard to keep up. So what I looked at is, how do I help all of you? Like, I'd been helping my mom. I helped all my mom's friends. I helped their brokers. I did websites. I did SEO, syndication, you name it, social media. And I'm like, but wait a second. Everybody asked me the same question. How am I doing online? Alex, can you check me out online? So I'm like, I got to measure this for people and kind of figure out how to manage it for you all. Because the truth is, nobody here wants to be a Facebook guru. My mom didn't want to be one. It's not your strength. Talk about Gabe says leverage your time. Is your time best spent doing postings, or is it out doing revenue-producing activities, right? Is your time best figured out how to, like, optimize on this channel or that channel, or go and doing revenue-producing activities? So I found out, like, wow, I can help a lot of realtors, so I built a software to measure, manage, and maximize your digital presence. The measure piece was like Credit Karma. You all done like a credit score. Well, what if you knew what your digital score was? That's actually something we do for free. So we're here today. You can get your free score and see how you're doing online. And what we're measuring is all the different platforms: Google, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Realtor, Zillow, Homes.com, all your lead channels. And here's the scary part. You're all not doing so great, right? The average grade is a 30 out of 100, right? So there's a lot of things missing. I will say that Carrie had one of the best scores we'd ever seen. I'm not going to reveal the score, but it was super high. I can reveal it? Okay, so she got an 81 out of 100. That's really high. Like, the average is a 30, right? So, I mean, there were just a couple things to fix up, and we'll talk about that. But most realtors, and she puts obviously a lot of time into her online presence, most realtors aren't looking at that. But guess who is looking at that? Your customers. They're Googling you all the time, right? So I looked at it and I was like, what are the biggest mistakes you're making? And you could take a screenshot of this. These are the biggest mistakes that all realtors across the country are making right now. Oh, wow, I got the screen right here too. I can look here. That's cool. So inconsistent social media and lack of branding, right? Like, it's inconsistent. The branding is different on every channel. It's like if you put a billboard up on the highway and then you have a totally different billboard up in front of your office and a totally different billboard up on Facebook, it's not matching. Broken links. We see this all the time. I go on your Zillow and I click on your Facebook, it's a broken link. I go to Google, I click on your website, it's a broken link. Inappropriate or negative content, bad reviews, no reviews. How many people are going to go to a restaurant with no reviews? Anybody? You go to a restaurant with no reviews? You're pretty chancy, huh? I wouldn't, but all right, I get you. But with a realtor, biggest asset of my life, I'm going to look for some good reviews on Google. And if I see 0 reviews, that's not a good sign. If you look at Carrie's online presence, her Google is ridiculous. She's got plenty of reviews on there, hundreds of reviews, I think. So, missing profiles, duplicate profiles. Maybe you have 2 Facebook pages. Somebody set it up for you, then your son set it up for you, then your daughter set it up for you, and now you got all these Facebooks all over the place. You don't know which ones you should work with. You got multiple LinkedIn. Anybody got this problem? Raise your hand if you do. Multiple Facebook, multiple LinkedIn, multiple Zillow. Carrie's got 2 Zillows. It's because she's dual licensed. That can happen. So we look at all this, and then we figured out how to fix it. So we figured out how to do this 8-site digital blueprint, and I'm going to demonstrate it today by taking somebody from the audience and Googling them live. And don't get shy, because it's actually the best thing you could do is like be part of the process, learn, and grow, right? And all of you watching are going to say, well, how do I compare against this person? Do I have my stuff set up properly? And I'm going to show you what it should look like. Gabe Cordova went through this process. He was a hot seat at an event. Gabe, how was that for you?
Terrifying. No, it was good. I was actually thinking I'd be more like an 81 over to your fair show. Being a bit of a key, and I didn't even think about the other sites that produce brokerages and all these other things and duplicate accounts that weren't working, especially a number that they found that was a radio television with a landing site that was no longer connected when they tested the phone number coming in my phone box. So that was the biggest aha, and I can't even imagine how.
Yeah. We see a lot of wrong phone numbers on there. And to quote him, he said, I was a hot mess. So that's what we're doing. We're teaching you how to become real estate influencers. We do a lot of stuff. I'm going to give you some free guidebooks today that I think would be interesting for you. And I want to tell you a little bit about my story with COVID. Before COVID, I visited over 200 real estate offices in 1 year, going and training them, showing them what to do, offering help. And then COVID happens. And I'm like, oh, shoot. What am I going to do? No offices to go to, right? And I happened to watch this webinar that said, how to corona-proof your business. And I listened to the webinar, and he said, forget about the revenue. Just forget about it. Just be contribution. And I was like, okay, but how do I pay the bills? And then I thought about it more, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go all in on contribution. So I started doing webinars every day at 2 o'clock. I went on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, free webinar, 2 o'clock for realtors. Next thing I know, all these realtors are showing up, hundreds of realtors. People are like, you know, I'm upgrading my digital in the downtime. This is amazing. I'm growing my business. This is tough, but I'm so glad I listened to these webinars, and I'm getting all these emails, and I'm like, wow, this is awesome. People are really loving this stuff. So instead of having fear, I went to gratitude, and that's just one of those webinars that I was on. And I corona-proofed people's businesses, and then I created Real Grader University, which I created as a free resource. And that's still available online. You can go to realgraderuniversity.com. I got lots of videos there. They're free. I want to be an educator. I don't want to be focused on the revenue, but I got to do the revenue to make my business, right? But like this, I'm finally back to a year now where I have 43 employees. Our company's grown, and I can get back into like education. And that's really what I'm excited about. So we did get written up in Inman. We got written up in The Real Deal. During COVID, our business doubled. Huh, weird, right? I'm giving it away, and my business doubled. Just think about that for your business. We're going into this time when there's like a little more downtime. Where can you be contribution? Where can you provide resources to people? Where can you provide like what are the greatest events in the area, market data, but not market data like the typical market data, like Jeff says, no more market data updates. Like real market data, like analyze it a little more, give some more detail. So I won all these awards, amazing, right? And I'm just sharing this journey because this was a thought on a beach to build a business where I could help realtors. And now it came to life for me, and I get to like see the full circle, and now I have a team of 43 people doing the work so that I can be on stage teaching, which is awesome for me. We actually won, that was a pitch contest at the Miami Association of Realtors, and we won that pitch battle, which took me to the next thing, which was like one of my biggest dreams, was to actually partner with the National Association of Realtors. So on the very last day of 2022, I get an email, you've been accepted, you're the first pick for the National Association of Realtors REACH program. So now they're investing in us, and they're supporting us, and they're expanding us nationwide. So it's been quite a journey. Thank you. And I want to be here, and I want to help as much as possible. So like these are my guidebooks that I wrote during COVID. There's like 242 pages of guidebooks. If you text me, I'll text you the link to it. I'm not going to spam you. I don't have time for that. This is just if you want these information, text me your name and say guidebooks, and I'll send you those guidebooks. It's just a link. You can go download them. There's no funnel on them. They're just PDFs. Click, download, done. But here's my story about, yeah, sure. All good. There you go. We're good? Everybody else good? All right. So I want to list or buy with you, right? And I'll tell you the story of my mom. My mom had a listing in Miami, one of her investments after she sold her house and moved to Florida. And she wasn't a realtor anymore. She was retired. She's like, who should I list with, Alex? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to give you the president of the Association of Realtors because I happen to know that person. She asked my brother. My brother knows nothing about real estate, so I was a little offended. But she asked my brother. My brother gave the name of a realtor too. What did my mom and dad do? They Googled both realtors, and they picked one. People still do that. Like, even if you get a referral, they're going to Google it as a spot check to make sure it's okay, right? I get recommended to a restaurant, I'm still going to Google it. So I want to list or buy with you. Where do I search? I go on Google. I might search best realtor in the area. If I search best realtor in Delray Beach, Google's already recommending 3 realtors to me with their photos and everything, and their Google reviews, right on the top. You can try it. Best realtor in Delray Beach. Boom, 3 realtors right on top. That's because they have a good reputation, they have a solid reputation, they have a lot of Google reviews. Okay, this is where things are going. I'm forecasting for you that like in 5 years, Google's gonna have this amazing directory of the most qualified agents. And the question is, are you gonna be on there or not? Right? I think that's where it's all going. Google wants to have the best search. They don't want to just recommend anybody. And they're tracking every phone call that comes through that. So your online reputation needs to be solid, and these are all the places that you need to think about for your online reputation. Realtor, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Zillow, Homes.com. If you're properly set up on Google, I'm going to Google your name, and as long as you're not like conflicting with a celebrity, I should see your results, right? If I put in your name and the word realtor, I should see your results. So your online reputation is living on Google, on Zillow, on Realtor, on Homes, Facebook, LinkedIn. These are all the places you can get reviews. I'm going to tell you, whoever's not focused on Google is the #1 place to get reviews. If you're still focused on getting them on Zillow, bad idea. It's all moving towards Google. The big people have already moved, right? They're not worried about their Zillow reviews anymore. Here's the nice thing about Google. It doesn't have to be linked to a transaction. Anybody can give you a Google review pretty much. So you can get those Google review numbers up. If you're a brand new agent in this room, you could have 25 Google reviews this month and beat out some of the experienced agents that are sleeping. Make sense? Social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and now TikTok, right? These are all the places that you want to live. So which platforms are you not using? Raise your hand if you're not using YouTube. Yeah, a lot of hands. That's usually what I see. Raise your hand if you're not using LinkedIn. Couple hands. How many people are not using realtor.com? Okay? And just so everybody knows, you get a free profile on realtor.com, homes.com, and Zillow. These are all free profiles, by the way. So, how many people feel like they need help with their online presence, like it's not looking so hot? Couple hands? All right, so how's your digital presence? If you're going to grade yourself 1 through 100, what grade would you give yourself? Let's hear a couple numbers. 2? 1? Yeah, you're a brand new agent, so yeah. 75? Awesome. So I'm asking you that question just so you see where you're operating versus the full potential, right? If you said I'm 100, Google me, that means you rock. That means you're going to a listing presentation. You're going, actually, before I even get there, why don't you just Google me, and you'll see my stuff. That's where you want to be, right? Not like you go to a listing presentation, you do an amazing presentation, and then you leave, you go, wow, I hope they don't Google me. That would be horrible. We got to be in front of this, right? We can't be like reactive to it. So how you doing on Google? This is the new shirt that I bring to all the trade shows lately. And that's really where this all started for me, is like, I was like, if I'm going to go out there in the real estate industry and tell people to come and work with me, well, when you Google me, it better look good, right? I'm talking about all this stuff. So yes, you can Google me and it looks good. And I want it to look good when I Google you too. It's kind of embarrassing sometimes when I look up like top producers and it's kind of in shambles, right? Not the case with Kerry, but I've seen some other top producers score at like a 30. And I'm like, what? And they still crush it, right? Imagine what they would be doing if they had 100. So history of Google, just to give you a little sense. Where am I on time? Let me just check. All right, I'm getting close. I got to move through this. This was Gabe. This is what Gabe Cordova and his team look like now, right? Like we went through and we optimized all his stuff. Google business pages can have listings, by the way. You can post your listings for free. And here's a shortcut. Post your sold properties so you don't have to update it from available to under contract to sold. We have enough places to go do that. Just put your sold so you look good online. Now, how to build your online reputation on all these sites, I'm going to demonstrate it by putting somebody in the hot seat. Who wants to be in the hot seat? Raise your hand. Awesome. You want to come up? This is my magic show. And then I just need this. Is it going to automatically switch? Yeah, bingo. Hi, how are you?
I'm great, thanks.
I'm Alex.
How are you? Nice to meet you, Alex. Regina.
Regina, and where are you based out of?
I am in Ohio, West Virginia, PA, and I just received my Florida license.
Awesome.
So 4 states now.
Cool. All right, we're going to Google you. And how long you been in business?
2 years.
Awesome.
December made 2 years.
Is this
And you're not going to find much.
Let's see if this is happening. So I'm probably going to bring this over. Yep, there we go. And then go out here.
I'm excited to be picked, just so you know, so that we can work on this.
Exactly. All right, give me your full name.
It's Regina, R-E-J-E-A-N-A. Palma, P-A-L-M-A.
Is that you?
That is me.
Perfect. All right. Are you part of a team or just by yourself?
Myself.
Okay, awesome. So the first thing I'm looking at here is I don't see her Google business page. You may have one. Do you know if you have one?
I've asked so many people to help me with this, and no one can help me.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to show what a proper Google business page would look like. And that's what we had for Gabe, but I'm going to show it over here. Here's Lisa Vidal. So that's what a Google business page would look like, right? And you'd have all your reviews. You'd have your information. It would link to your website. Maybe you'd link to your digital card or like some calendar so you can get appointments. You can even have your listings on there. So that's the first thing that we'd want to set up for you. The next thing I'm looking at is your Facebook over here. So I'm going to have a link to your company website, your agent page probably. Then I have your Facebook page. Let's take a look at that.
I had just helped a client paint her kitchen. So
There you go.
that's what that picture
So you're posting.
is.
That's awesome. And I don't know if it's loading. Do you know if you have an image on top there?
I do not. I had to take
Okay.
it down because it was Berkshire and I'm with several brokerages. So I just,
Got you.
Yes.
So we want to have some branding on top, right? So branding for Facebook, Realtor, Google, LinkedIn, YouTube, all those 5 sites allow for a branded image. They're all different sizes though. So you want that to be mobile responsive and you want that to look good and it should be consistent. Ideally maybe have your phone number on there. Why not, right? Then call to action. I don't see a call to action, but you could have like call me or more information or link to your website. That way you start capturing some leads from Facebook. Scrolling down over here, everybody could have like a social media stack. You want to be cross-linking between your YouTube to your Facebook, your LinkedIn to your Facebook to your Instagram, everything cross-linked. Because the more everything is cross-linked, the more you rise to the top. So far, so good?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Let's go back here, let's take another look. So let's look at your realtor.com. Perfect, this is a great example. So this is what realtor.com looks like when you don't fill it in. And there's so many realtors out there that don't have it filled in, so don't feel bad. Like that image, that spooky image, it's like, I don't know why they choose that image.
I don't even
That's their default image.
see.
It's crazy. I don't know why they don't choose like a blue sky sunny day. Beats me. But the idea is you can populate this and populate your service areas. And if you put all your service areas, then you're going to get found on realtor.com and start getting some leads for free. I have clients that get leads for free on Realtor, not paying. So that's one area we want to work on. And then, is this you also? Mm-hmm. So because you're probably dual licensed, we're going to have a couple of them.
Yeah.
You're tri-licensed?
No, quad.
Quad licensed, all right. So
But I
she's
don't
going to
have
have, and that
any
happens,
quad.
she's going to have multiple accounts. And I would work with you on a strategy on how to consolidate that so you don't have to worry about an empty profile here, but this one's got 50 reviews. You know, that seems to be an issue for a lot of people. And let me go back and do one more example. Let's take her LinkedIn. And are you at Berkshire now?
I am in
Okay,
PA.
awesome. So again, branding here. See how the branding's missing and then her photo's cut off? Those are the kind of things you want to look at. Like, this is all advertising, everybody, right? Like, you wouldn't send out a postcard that's empty or without your phone number or without your branding, but yet your online presence is generally lacking. And it's not just you, it's so many people. So what's your biggest takeaway so far in all this?
I want to work with you, and let's get this up and running, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's usually what people say. So yeah, thank you for participating.
You are so welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to show you now what it should look like and how it can look. So let's go back over here. I'm going to unplug this. No, I'm going to stay right here. Let's go to this. Boom, 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 boom. And go to here. Boom. Okay, so Gary Ashton is an example. He's the #1 Remax team in the world. This guy wouldn't pick up the phone for me for nothing. He's like, I'm good. I do all my marketing. What are you talking about, Alex? And I'm like, I got him on my podcast, and that's when I got in a little deeper and started like poking a little bit. I said, listen, Gary, you got like an 82, not 100. He's like, what do you mean I don't have 100? And I'm like, you don't. Let's look at it. So we ended up fixing all his stuff, and the cool thing is, not only did he love that, but he actually invested in our company as a result of it. So we fixed him. He went from an 82. We set up his Google business page the right way. This guy's got 923 reviews. He's killing it. We set up his Facebook business page. There were some issues with it. We fixed those issues. We set up his Instagram, just some small tweaks there. His LinkedIn, but notice how the branding is consistent on every single site. That's what you want to be thinking about. Like, that's your brand, right? Like, you are your brand. YouTube, we set up his YouTube a little bit. We went into his homes.com and maximized that. We went into his realtor.com and we went into his Zillow. We took him to 100. Now Gary's happy and he's like, Google me, and we use him at all of our trade shows, obviously. So information alone never helped anyone. I want to know if you're going to dabble this year in your online presence or are you really all in on it? Because most realtors are dabbling with this stuff. I'll spend an hour over here on my LinkedIn and then I fall asleep or I get tired or I get lost. I go to YouTube and I check out a YouTube video on how to set up my Facebook account. And like it's hours there, hours there, hours there. I'm going to ask Kerry, how many hours do you think it took to set up your online presence to get to the 80, 81 score?
I don't know, but I'll tell you that's how to finish me at 100. I can't let Gary beat me.
Of course. We're going to get you there. So that's what I look at is like on the left, we're dabbling, and on the right, this is all in, right? So like which one do you want to be with your business? Do you want to be all in or do you want to dabble? So that's the gap. We want to help you to get there. So how many people feel like they need help? Yeah? If you need help, just text me and say, I need help. Very easy, right? I'll leave my number there for a second. And I've helped 10,000 agents, so I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit. So we do it for you. This is where I leverage your time. Gabe spoke about like what's your time worth, $132 an hour. If you're doing $10 an hour task or $20 an hour task or $30 an hour task, not the best use of your time. Not to mention you're going to make a lot of mistakes. And then the question is, if all this did was get you one client, would it be worth it? Like if all this did, like I fixed your entire online presence and then you got one client, would that be worth it to you? Yes? So here it is. This is the shortcut, the time shortcut. The total value of this to set all this stuff up is like $1,970, like $397 for Google, $397 for Facebook, Instagram $197, YouTube $197. We do a 90-minute one-on-one call with you to get all the access. Then we design your branding for you too. So that's a $994 value. That's how we set up your branding across all the channels. Then you have to look at what your time is worth. I want to leverage your time. I know how long this takes. It takes 40 hours or more if you know what you're doing. We've created a much more efficient process so we can offer it at a much better value. Total value is $28.67. The bonus is at the end of this, I also create a digital business card for you, so now you have an easy way to share your information. We create it for you. We build it for you. That's what the digital card looks like. Tristan Ahumada is actually a shareholder in our company. He has the digital card. 88% of business cards get thrown in the garbage. You know what's going to happen at this event? A lot of you handed out your business cards. Where are those cards going to end up? In the garbage in less than 2 weeks. Those that exchange digitally with me, I've already put myself in your phone, and you know who you are, right? Don't you want to be doing that? Way more effective. Here's Ryan Serhan. I can't play this because I don't have audio. That's my digital card. If you want my card, you just scan that QR code. Boom, I go right into your phone. And that's kind of how you want to be interacting with people in 2023, right? I've got a solid presence. Here's my digital card. Check me out online. Google me. I rock. Right? So that's my digital card. You hit add to contacts. Boom, I go right in your phone. So now I'm including that. And now the best part that I've launched is part of my education dream. It took me 2.5 years to build this, is that I'm helping you all master every area of this digital marketing. So what I put together is Zoom classrooms every single day, 5 days a week. You can just come in the Zoom classroom and ask questions. How do I do this on Facebook? How do I do this on LinkedIn? How do I grow my reviews on realtor.com or on Google? And we'll handhold you through that process. So all of that's like a $7,000 value that I'm throwing in. So real estate influencer package, I'm giving you all of these Zoom rooms, 15 Zoom rooms plus, reputation building, Genius support, Google support, technology support. I interview experts and you get access to all those replays. Social media assets, I give you 30 posts a month so that you have stuff to post. I speak, I have all these videos. So all of this, I wrapped it into one package, $23.66. That covers you getting fixed online, and that covers you getting support for a whole year on all 8 of those platforms. It's a one-time fee. After that, if you want to renew next year, it's just $970 a year. But this is like, I'm your geek squad for your online presence, basically. So if that's something you're interested in, that's the QR code. And I know there's about 50 people in this room. I know my numbers. There's about 10 of you that'll take action on this. So if you're in the group of people like, I just take action, I get it done, I'm not into doing all this stuff myself, then we're the team to do it. We're National Association of Realtor approved, and I can personally guarantee it. So I hope I can help a lot of you. I'm here. I have a booth outside, and Josh is here. If anybody wants to get Googled live, just like I did here, we can do that for you, or we can schedule that, and that's free. So I hope that was useful. Was that useful? Question? Thank you. Yes, absolutely. So for an individual agent, the optimization is $12.97, and the digital card's $99. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for tuning in to this special edition. Carrie and I love doing the HyperFast Agent Summit. We love doing events. And guess what? Even more than that, we love partnering with real estate agents. And now we're, in over 12 states, 15 states. We love partnering with real estate agents from all over the country. If you want to get access to top-level training, to multiple real estate coaching programs, to mentoring from myself and Carrie Scholl, to help in scaling your business and building multiple streams of income by partnering with us at eXp Realty, I would be honored to sponsor you along with Carrie Scholl at eXp Realty. All you need to do is send me a text message to 703-638-4393. Again, that is 703-638-4393. Just text me, yes, it is me, and I will respond and talk to you about how you can partner with Carrie Scholl and I at eXp Realty. Thanks for tuning into the show. We'll see you next time.